there were some good quotes. I still am having a hard time getting into this, and it's also definitely very sad. This is insane. I was gonna stop reading and be productive, but yeah, no. Oh my god. Literally have to go to work in an hour. Hello everybody and welcome back. So today is, I was gonna say an exciting video, but it's kind of sad because we are reading sad books for a week. So in this video I read 3 different books that are kind of known to be more sad or heart-grabbing, and that is definitely what they did. Let's get into it. You will see some tears in this video. Just a warning, I am kind of dramatic sometimes, so let's hop in and get started. Why is this book already super sad? Like, I'm on page 16. I'm scared now. Hello, a little jump scare because I am into this one now. I am on page 32. I really wanted to listen to an audiobook, and this one I placed a hold right on Libby, but I'm like a lot of people behind, and then you have to pay for it on Spotify, so putting this to the side. And so I was like, what's another like kind of sad-ish book or like heartbreaking book? So I picked up this one because I have it on Libby, so I was like, this is kind of perfect because it's like a more sad book, but it's still not like I'm gonna be sobbing the whole time, you know? So this is about our main girl Margaret, who she basically gets in a plane crash and is like pretty bad after it, and I've been really enjoying it so far, so I'm gonna keep listening. Okay, I am an hour and 44 minutes into the book. I don't know the percent yet, but I'm really loving it. I like can't stop listening. But so she had a boyfriend, and the way he's just handling this situation is like oof. Like the things he says, I'm like, wow, he needs punched in the face. I really hope that, you know, things change with them. We'll see. This is so good, and I think one of the characters is finally getting what he deserves because he's a POS. There's still some POSs that we gotta deal with though. I am now 50% through this book, and I'm like really eating it up. I do feel like though, I just looked at the 50% mark and I'm like, if we're gonna keep doing the same thing for the next 50%, it's gonna get a little bit boring and repetitive, but I am really liking the characters and how it's more literary fiction than romance. There is like a little romance subplot, but like the smallest crumb, but I'm really enjoying it. We are really focusing on our main girl and her recovery, which is really interesting to learn about, and it's also definitely very sad because just what she's going through is so just extreme, and you're also not only getting her like physical recovery but mental and just some of the things going on in her personal life as well. So it's definitely very, very emotional because what she's going through is so heartbreaking. I don't know if it's like gonna be sad enough where I cry, but it's definitely like I'm not like giggling, like kicking my feet happy, you know what I mean? Like I'm more like heart into it. I don't know. Of course this man drives a vintage Bronco because what else? What else? Like, I'm a fiend for Broncos. A quiet love. I'm just about to settle in bed and listen for a bit, and with what just happened, I like physically reacted. I was like it was just said. Oh, the crumbs, the crumbs. It's so sweet. This man, quiet, wholesome love. It says I still have an hour left, but I'm on the epilogue and it's so wholesome and sweet. I'm like kind of tearing up a bit, but like in a happy way. I think I'm almost done then. There's probably just bonus stuff after, but I have 5 minutes left apparently. Hi guys, I'm sick right now, so I'm sorry, but I just had to say that I'm loving this book. I really want to finish it today. It's definitely sad where we're at. Like, I definitely am a little teary-eyed. I'm sorry for the phone. I'm currently uploading stuff to my hard drive with my SD card, so sorry. But I'm on page 76 of this book, and the whole like premise is like childhood besties, and then he leaves, and then he comes back. So like going into this, I thought there was gonna be like some huge like time jump where they haven't seen each other, but it's literally 2 years, and they're acting like it's the end of the world. Like this quote, she's talking about her brother and she's like, my hand flew to my mouth when I saw it. It was little Alton. He would be 4 now, I calculated. You're adding 2 years. But yeah, it's going good. I feel like I know what happened. There's kind of like a mystery aspect, not like a mystery, but like just something we don't have answers to yet, and I feel like I have it figured out, but I'm not for sure. Just from stuff I've heard about this book, you know, I've kind of just like put some knowledge away,
so we'll see if that's right.
Hi guys, so it's kind of been a bit, and I haven't really been updating a lot because I'm just recovering from a sickness. Like, today's the day where I've actually been able to form sentences, but I'm on page 136, and I don't know, I'm just having a hard time getting into this book. I don't know if I'm not in the mood for it or what, and also the chapters are so long, so that's kind of throwing me off because, like, normally I don't stop. Literally disregard my bookmark, but normally I don't stop in the middle of chapters, but I've been doing that because I just cannot continue sometimes. But this book, I'm having a hard time getting into it. Like, I'll just be reading and then I'll get bored and so distracted. Like, I feel like, I don't know if it's the writing or what, it is kind of reminding me of Wattpad, which, like, I wrote books on Wattpad, I read on Wattpad, like, I loved Wattpad, but it's just really reminding me of that, I feel like. I do like it though, but I don't really know, like, what is gonna happen for the rest of the book. I can definitely see how it's gonna make me cry, and I'm assuming I will cry. I was kind of trying to put off reading it so while I was feeling super sick because I'm like, I don't want to be sobbing my eyes out while I can already not breathe right and function right. Yeah, I hope I can finish more of it today. I really want to get done with it, maybe? That's my update. So far, having a hard time getting into it, but I feel like with where we're at now, like, I could start getting into it more, but we'll see. My gosh, guys, this book, I just cannot get into this at all. Like, I can't even stay focused for a full page. It is just boring, nothing's happening, and they're just saying the same things to each other over and over and over again. I'm gonna start skimming. I'm sorry. I still am having a hard time getting into this. I will admit there are some good quotes. Like, I just read one on page 173 and it was like, I wish I could read it to you guys, but I just hit chapter 10, page 182 or 3, and I looked to see when the next chapter was because I have like a limited amount of time, so I was like, can I read one more? Guess how many pages chapter 10 is? 42 pages in a chapter? No, that should be not allowed. Hi friends, so I made it to page 224, and the next chapter, it says like a time jump, which I wasn't really expecting in this book because so far the timeline and the pacing has been kind of really slow. We're just getting them together. Like, it's been like day by day basically. That's what's happening now. I'm intrigued to see like what's gonna happen in this timeline, if anything's gonna be different or if it's gonna be still the same thing over and over. Yeah, I'm definitely not like super connected to the book, but I will admit there are some really good quotes in here. I'm really intrigued to see how it ends and if I cry. Well, I started crying, but it's not because of the book. But I'm gonna have to stop reading this for now because a very close friend of mine is going through something and we are all hoping and praying it is not similar to what is going on in the book. So I'm gonna have to put this down for maybe a while because I'm not gonna read about this because I don't want my friend to be going through it. Bye! Guys, it's getting to a sad part. I'm not sure if this is the sad part or what, because I still have 60 pages left. It's finally time to finish the book. I have been putting off the last 30 pages for like a week now, just because I feel like I know how it's gonna go, and with what I talked about earlier, it's just gonna be hard to read, I feel like. Let's do it because I feel like I haven't finished a book in forever, so that's what's keeping me sane. Hold up. Oh god, guys. I didn't think it was gonna cry. Oh. It's just so sweet, the things he does. Oh my god. Literally have to go to work in an hour. I wish I could tell you guys this quote. You know what? I'm just gonna say it and you can skip ahead if you haven't read this and don't want to know. I did not think I was even gonna cry. Okay, so she asked him, have you ever regretted never finding someone else to love? And he says, blah, 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 blah. And I love, and I have loved with a full heart. You, baby, I have never stopped loving you. You were enough to last a lifetime. And my jar was filled. It was filled along with yours. There were no more kisses to be collected. Oh my god. Yo, what? The end. I need to look up what the... Oh god, there's a playlist. I want to look up what the second one's about because, like, I have no clue. I don't know, though. I'm thinking, like, 3 stars? I don't know. I have no clue. I'm gonna go now. The second one actually sounds not bad. I might pick it up, but I'm not in any rush to because that was just hard to finish. I just picked it up at a bad time, which, like, I didn't know when I first started that this was gonna happen. It ended up being a bad time for me to read the book, unfortunately. Okay guys, so the last sad book we are going to be reading is The Nightingale, and I feel like this is going to be the one where it hits me the hardest. I just feel like I'm going to absolutely love this book and just feel so connected to it, especially because I feel like I've been really into historical fiction lately, kind of. And also last night, I think there was a movie on TV that I started watching, or I was kind of watching parts of it because I fell asleep a bit. I think it was set like this same time and it was really good, and it made me think of this book, so now I'm just in the mood to read it. So I think I'm gonna read this next.
Okay, I am 40 pages into The Nightingale now. I'm really hooked. I am still confused on the who's who. Like, we're getting a couple different timelines and I'm just waiting to piece together, like, who's who on me, whatever. But, so, basically, the war has just reached Paris and our main girl's dad is, like, telling her she needs to leave as far away as she can. And then she was like, I'm not going, Papa. I've told you this. She had dressed for travel, as he'd asked, in a red polka dot summer dress and low heels. It's just crazy how much things have changed in... I'll let someone else do the math on that. The years, because, like, I guess with, like, fashion and obviously everything, but, like, with fashion, especially with this quote, it made me think, like, that's, like, a nice outfit for me. Like, you, like, rarely see me in a dress. In my travel outfits, sweatpants, sweatshirts, Ugg boots. It's just crazy, like, the differences, and I feel like that's why I love reading these historical books so much, because I learn so much about this time and can just learn about the past. This book is actually so good. It's just such, like, a crazy setting and time that we're hearing about, that I'm reading about. There's just so much going on and so many thoughts and opinions during this time with what just happened. I'm like, guys, this is crazy. I need to keep reading. Bestie just messed up. Okay, I am 244 pages into The Nightingale and I'm loving it. Like, I have no complaints. I'm so hooked and I think about this book all the time when I'm not reading. So I did just read an interesting chapter a couple ago. The book started with, I think the chapter was 1995, and then obviously the main story is in war times. This was the first chapter of the 1995 time that we've got so far in this much, so I'm intrigued to see if we'll get more now and just, like, what's going down in that one. I just want to know, like, how they intertwine and what leads to that point, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm gonna hopefully finish this soon. Well, I wasn't expecting this, but, like, okay, let's see how this goes. Crazy. See, I thought I read like a spoiler online, but, like, now I don't know if it was true because of what just happened, so I'm really confused because obviously I wasn't expecting this because I read the spoiler, but now I'm wondering if somehow the spoiler still happens. I have literally no clue. This is insane. I was gonna stop reading and be productive, but yeah, no. Yeah. He goes, that's a problem. Frick. Idiots. It's time to to finish the book. I have like 100 pages left, and once I hit that point, there's no going back. And also where we're at now, it's definitely the point where everything goes to crap. I'm locked in. I've had to, you know, fight back finishing this book because it's so good. Let's do it. I'm kind of scared because I have no clue how this is gonna end. But the thing with this book is it is so fast-paced and so enthralling. I don't know. It's been a long day, but like you're just so into it, you don't even realize that you're reading or like how many pages have gone by. So this 100 pages is gonna go so fast and it's gonna be so crazy, and I'm so scared. Okay, I need to finish this right now. I don't think I can read this. Oh god. Oh god. Sick. Pieces are falling into place. I don't know why I'm crying right now. Alright, you guys know what time it is. So, the first book I finished was How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. I kind of picked this book for this video because I didn't necessarily expect to be sobbing my eyes out, but I did expect to tear up and just be more touched by it. And it is just like a more sad undertone since it does, you know, follow a girl who has been severely injured after a plane crash. This book definitely didn't make me cry, but I was still like emotional the whole time, and it did definitely make me like feel sad. I just feel like this book was such a good kind of, especially like character study about the main girl, and it also just did a great job showing what emotions you go through and just showcased how she was dealing with something like this. It did a great job of showing different aspects of her life and how those changed with after she went through like work, friends, family, all of that. There was a tiny bit of romance in this book, which I loved so much. I feel like it was the perfect touch to make this book an incredible story. So with that, I ended up giving it 4.25. This book definitely will stick with me, I think, and I think I will remember parts of it very frequently. A thing I really enjoyed about this book is in the audiobook, I actually don't know if it's in my physical copy, but in the audiobook there was a short story at the end, and that short story really hit me. It was so good, and I feel like it just tied everything from page 1 into the end of the book together so good. I loved it so much, the little story at the end. Again, I'm not sure, maybe you could find it online. I'm not sure if it's in this book, but it was in the audiobook version I used on Libby, so I definitely recommend seeking that out if you have read this or are planning to, because it really made the story for me and just kind of helped pieces fall into place. But yeah, I loved this book so much, and I highly recommend. And then I finished A Thousand Boy Kisses. This book definitely took me the longest. I think like we can pull up the screenshot on Goodreads, but yeah, this book, it was just such the wrong time for me to read this because, well, this whole thing has been going on, which I talked about when I was reading this. I've been trying to not have my brain go to this point, which if you've read this book, you know, we've just been trying to think positive and not manifest bad things, obviously, or just think bad things. So this book definitely didn't help with that, because if you've read it, you know, basically we don't want this to happen. So it was just hard to get through while comparing their situations together, my friend and the main girls. I feel like it kind of influenced my reading experience. I gave it a 3-star, which I feel like is kind of generous because I really had a hard time getting into this. Even the beginning, before stuff went down, down because I just couldn't get into it. Like, it was just really boring and repetitive to me at first, but the ending did get good, and I do think that the romance is really cute and sweet. There's some great quotes. It was a little cringy at some points. Sorry, my camera died, but it still made me cry a lot, as you saw. But I think part of that was just that I've been thinking about this situation in my life outside of this book too. Not my life, but my friend's life, whatever. So it was just hard thinking about that aspect, and also it was just sad. Like, I would have cried with or without this going on. The way that she, obviously besides what happens, she wrapped up the ending in a good way. Like, everything that happened, it made sense, and there was good closure, I feel like, for them. I don't know, it's kind of hard to talk about, but. And then the last book I read for this video, I knew going into this book that it was going to be a 5-star. It so was. I was driving today after finishing this last night, and I just started replaying the ending in my mind and tearing up. I took a step back. I was like, I'm literally like rereading this, rewatching what I pictured in my brain, about to cry right now. That is how much this book got me. I feel like I didn't necessarily like sob at the ending, but it was still so sad, and like a more of like a gut-wrenching, like, oh my god, I feel sick for these characters after what they went through. Like, just, you feel just terrible for what they went through. And Kristin Hannah did such a good job telling this story and really capturing that emotion and what people were feeling during this time. Personally, I haven't necessarily learned about World War II in school for a while, so I feel like this book was a great learning opportunity as well for me, because, you know, this is more in-depth. Obviously it's fiction, but it's more in-depth, like personal, about certain people who lived through it. It's fiction, whatever. But Kristin Hannah, she takes inspo from various sources, so she was able to capture what it would most likely be like during that time. And I feel like that, like, if I would have read this while learning about this in school, it would have been crazy, because like this is just so real and so emotional. Like, it really helps you understand what that time was like. So yeah, I just loved the characters we followed and learning about their stories. It was just so entertaining from page 1 to page 566. There wasn't a single boring point in this book at all. I was hooked from beginning to the end, and it is so fast-paced. I didn't want to put it down at all, and I have definitely been thinking about it after I finished it, so that means it's a 5-star. Yay! I can't wait to read more Kristin Hannah books, so if you have recs, please let me know, because or just historical fiction in general, I would love to pick some up. Yeah, this book, it was really, really good. Like, I feel like I can't even do it justice talking about it, but just know that, like, I feel like this is just one of those books that, like, you just can't not like. Obviously it deals with terrible topics and, you know, showcases that, but it's our history. That's all I got. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have more sad book recs, recommend them to me in a couple months. I'm not ready yet, but yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.